Bhaktivedanta Swaminti Namine Namaste Saraswati Devam Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pasyata Desha Tarine Gurave Gaura Chandraya Radhikaya Tadalaya Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tadbhaktaya Namo Namaha Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nanda Gopa Kumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivas Adigaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna. So, you are all welcome for continuity of our Bhakti Shastri study of Bhagavad Gita as it is at VIHE Vrindavan. Today we are starting this third shatak or the third section of the 6 chapters. In principle, Bhagavad Gita, 18 chapters are divided into 3 set of 6 chapters. And each 6 chapters have 2 basically principles or theme. The first 6 chapter has a principle that soul by nature is active. So you have to act. It means to perform karma is the constitutional position of soul. So everybody has to perform karma. This is the first principle. Since we perform karma, therefore there is a result of the karma. So second principle is, in what way we perform karma, that we should not be implicated in that result. So you have to perform karma, and if you perform karma, there is a result. Every action has a reaction, and you have to enjoy or suffer. Now, Bhagavad Gita says, what is the method by which if you perform karma, there is no result you have to suffer or enjoy. You perform karma, but still you are free from reaction of karma. That is the second principle. For that, there is a Nishkama Karma Yoga, there is a Gyana Yoga, and there is a Dhyana Yoga. These are the 3 subject matter in first 3 chapters. Nishkama Karma Yoga, Gyana Yoga, and Dhyana Yoga. Basically, yoga means bhakti yoga. All other yogas are to reach to the climax called bhakti yoga. So therefore, in first 6 chapters, Yoga is there, but it is mixed yoga mixed with karma, yoga mixed with gyana, and yoga mixed with yoga. Or yoga mixed with the mystic yoga. So in the 8th chapter, mystic yoga, yoga mishrit bhakti, 7th chapter, karma and gyana mishrit bhakti. So it's a mixed devotion. Middle 6th chapter also have a two principle. We have to perform karma. For whom we should perform karma? And the answer is we should perform karma for Krishna. Yajna arthat karmano. Perform karma for yajna or Krishna. So this is the first principle. And as in the 11th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, you have a direct, Krishna says, mat karma, work for me. Mat karmo, mat paramo bhava, mat bhakta sangha varjita. This is the last but one verse of 11th chapter. Okay? Now second principle is, if we have to work for Krishna, how should we work? What is the process? And the process is bhakti. That is the subject matter of the middle 6 chapters. And middle 6 chapter mostly the unallied devotional service of Uttama Bhakti is described. Now in the last 6 chapter also there are two principles. What is the cause of bondage? Why we are called a conditioned soul?
Lust.
Sorry?
Lust. Because of
Sister.
Lust is okay. Yes?
Because we are conditioned, bound by the laws of nature.
But we are conditioned by modes of nature. So bondage is by 3 modes of material nature. By the way, just for your wisdom, I'm asking you this question. All these 3 modes of material nature exert their effect where?
Sorry?
3 modes of material nature, their influence is where in our body? Where they exert their influence. 3 modes of material nature. Mind, intelligence, subtle body, generally mind, intelligence, false ego and polluted consciousness. That is basically these are the subtle body is the place where the 3 modes of material nature exert their influence. And by that what is our subhav or our nature is formed by 3 modes of material nature. Everybody has a spiritual nature. Somebody is very polite, somebody is angry, somebody is greedy. On this, our different natures are because of 3 modes of material nature. And they exert their influence on the subtle body. And this subtle body goes with us from one body to other body. So our nature goes with us. Okay? Therefore, the bondage is by 3 modes of material nature. First principle. Second principle, how can we be free from bondage? By getting from the influence, free from 3 modes of material nature. And what is the process?
Meditation.
Bhakti. That will be in the 14th chapter. Ava vicharena bhakti yogena sagunan samsaitetan brahma bhuyaya kalpate. By unallied devotional service, we can transcend 3 modes of material nature. But in the last 6th chapter, the process of gyaan is a subject matter. Because 3 modes of material nature, to know how they are functioning, where they are functioning, and what is their influence. So we have the subject matter knowledge, and ultimately how these 6 chapters culminate in the unallied devotional service in the last part, bhakti. In 18th chapter, especially the manmana bhava bhakto sarvabhauma parityaja. This is the pure bhakti. So now we are starting chapter 13. This chapter, Srila Prabhupada has named this chapter Nature, means material nature. Enjoyer means soul, the enjoyer of the material nature. And real enjoyer, bhokta, as you have discussed in 5th chapter, bhoktaram yagya tapasam. So the real enjoyer is Krishna. But here, nature enjoyer is soul as well as super soul. And the consciousness. This word consciousness, Srila Prabhupada has used this word consciousness in this chapter. Nature, enjoyer, and the consciousness. It means there are two consciousness. One consciousness is bodily consciousness and other is Krishna consciousness. So the enjoyer is either in bodily consciousness or in Krishna consciousness. You have only two options. That will be discussed in a couple of the verses. Traditionally, this chapter is called Prakriti Purusha Vibhag Yoga. Traditionally, the Sanskrit name for this chapter is Prakriti, which means nature, and Purusha means enjoyer. Vibhag Yoga means is a yoga, because every chapter is a yoga. Every chapter of Bhagavad Gita is a yoga, because Gita is a yoga shastra. Gita is called yoga shastra. And which vidya is Gita? Which vidya? Brahma vidya. Brahma vidya yoga shastra. The name of the Gita is, at the end of each chapter, it says, Hari Om Tat Sat Srimad Bhagavad Gita Su Upanishadsu Brahma Vidyaya Yoga Shastra Krishna Arjuna Samvada Purusha Prakriti Yogo Nam Trodasho Adhyaya. This is the language used traditionally. So Gita is a Upanishad, is a Brahma Vidya, means knowledge of the spirit. Brahma Vidya means knowledge of the spirit. Yoga Shastra is a scripture which teaches us how to connect with Supreme Lord. The Brahma Vidya is a Yoga Shastra. And this is Arjuna Krishna Samvad. It's a dialogue between Arjuna and Krishna. We know which scripture is Bhagavad Gita actually. Mahabharata. Bhagavad Gita is in Mahabharata. Madhya Ashtadash Adhyani Amba Madhya Mahabharatam. It is in the Mahabharata, 18 chapters. In Bhisham Parva. From 25th to 43 chapter most probably. But somebody asks you who has written Bhagavad Gita, what do you will say?
Ganesh.
Huh?
Ganesh.
Lord Ganesh is right. Writing is done by Ganesh. And who has compiled Gita? Vyasadeva. Vyasadeva is compiler of Mahabharata. But the person who was writing is Ganesh. Right. So Gita is Shruti as well as Smriti. It's Shruti because it's just like Upanishad. It's Smriti because it is in the Mahabharata. So in Bhakti Shastri we study Isha Upanishad as Shruti Praman. It is a Shruti Praman. Praman means evidence, Shruti means Veda. So in our Bhakti Shastri, the Vedic evidence is Sri Isha Upanishad, which speak about God. Then we have Smriti Praman, evidence from the Smriti's written literature, That is Bhagavad Gita from Mahabharata. Then we have Nyaya Praman. There are three Praman for this. Is three evidence are necessary for establishing anything in a Vedic system. Shruti Praman, Smriti Praman, and Nyaya Praman. Praman means evidence. So normally Vedanta Sutra is a Nyaya Praman. But we Vaishnava accept Bhagavatam as a Nyaya Praman. Because Bhagavatam is a natural commentary on Vedanta Sutra. So for us the Praman or evidence of the Nyaya is Srimad Bhagavatam. So Bhagavad Gita is a general spiritual science. Everybody reads this, both personals, impersonals, everybody. Bhagavatam is a Vaishnava scripture only. It's not for impersonals. And Bhakti Rasamrita Siddhu is a Gauriya Vaishnava scripture. It's only for Gauriya Vaishnava. So, in 13th chapter, in section 1, Arjuna has 6 questions. So the first verse is 6 questions of Arjuna. In some of the Gita, this verse is not there. In some Gita, this verse is not there. First verse is not there, Arjuna Vacha. But then our Acharya says, if there is no question, why Krishna speak? The answer. So this in all Gitas, this first verse is not there. So now what are the 6 questions? We are reading the first verse. Arjuna Vacha Prakritim Purusham Chaiva Kshetram Kshetra Gyanam Evacha Edat Veditam Ichhami Gyanam Gayam Cha Keshava. Keshava is the name of Krishna. Ka means Brahma. And E means Shiva. One who is controller of Brahma and Shiva is Keshava. So he is asking the question from the person who is controller of the all creators, creator and the annihilator of this universe, Keshava. Keshava is the name of Krishna. So Keshava is a controller or the master of the Brahma and Shiva, Keshava. And also the manual meaning of Keshava is one who has very shining and effulgent hairs. Keshava means hair. His hairs are very shining and effulgent. Keshava, the name of Krishna. So what are the 6 questions? Edat Veditam Ichhami means I want to know. Veditam means I want to know. I have a desire. Ichha means I have a desire to know. What do you want to know? 3 things. Number 1, Prakriti. What is nature? Which means material nature. Alright? Purusha means the enjoyer of material nature. So these are 2 questions. Third question is Kshetra, field of activity. And Kshetra Gaya, one who knows the field. And third question is gyaan, the process of knowledge. Knowledge and process of knowledge. And 6th question is object of knowledge. Gayam, what should knowledge is to know whom. Gaya means the knowable subject, person to be known. Okay? Can you see the 6 questions? Very clear? More or less, Okay, and then next section. In commentary on this verse, Chakravarti Pad has written this commentary. It is here. Let me offer my respects to Lord's bhakti. It means I want to offer obedience to bhakti, by which, by its mercy, reside within gyaan and other processes. Therefore, they give the result. What actually he is saying is, okay, before we discuss this, how many type of bhakti do you know? Bhakti is of two types. Pure bhakti, mixed bhakti. Pure bhakti, mixed bhakti. Okay? Now, mixed bhakti is of two types. Mixed bhakti is two types. One is called pradhani bhuta, which means prominence is bhakti. The other process very small. Bhakti 90%, 10% other things. It's called pradhani bhuta, mixed bhakti. You know, pradhani bhuta means prominently, bhakti is prominent. Other process very small. The other is called guni bhuta. Guni bhuta means bhakti is hardly 15%. The other process is 80%, 85%. Out of the two, Guri Bhuta is not considered bhakti. What here written is that it is small portion of bhakti which give the result of gyaan or karma or any other process. Any other process only gives a result because of some bhakti. Are you understand my point?
Can you repeat, please?
Yes?
Can you repeat?
See, where bhakti is only there just to give the result of other processes. Now, I will make it more clear now what you were saying is, so mixed pradhani bhuta bhakti or guni bhuta bhakti is called either karma mishra bhakti. And the example of karma mixra bhakti is 7th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. Chaturvidha bhajate mam jana sukritino is a karma mishra bhakta. Sukritino, artha, arti, both are karma mishra bhakta. Gyani cha bhatra, Gyani is a Gyana Mishra Bhakta. 8th chapter, Yoga Mishra Bhakti. Om iti ekakshan vyaan ma manu samra. This is all Gyana Mishra Bhakti. 8th chapter. So the mixed bhakti is Pradhani Bhuta, Karma Mishra, Gyana Mishra or Yoga Mishra. Because bhakti is more. So in this case, you will get liberation. But the other bhakti mixer, bhakti is very small. Gyaan is 80%. Karma is 80%. So you will get the result of karma, go to the heaven. You will get the result of gyaan, merge in the Brahma. You may get the result of yoga, but you will not get liberation. So that what it is written here. Now you read the first sentence. Somebody should read loudly, everybody should.
Let me offer my respects to the Lord's bhakti, which by its mercy resides within jnana and other processes to a small degree in order to bring about success in those processes.
So which type of bhakti is this?
Mixed bhakti.
Guni Bhuta Bhakti. Is this clear? Because this is bhakti which gives the result of that process only. Now, In the last 6th chapter of the Gita, gyaan mixed with bhakti is delineated. Mostly in this 6th chapter, there is a bhakti but mixed with gyaan.
Is this Bhuta or
No, the first explanation is Gunibhita
the
mostly.
second one is Pradhan?
Second bit is just a blend, is a general explanation. We will decide according to the merit of particular.
So, and the Bhuta is in which chapter?
Gunibhita, any process anybody is doing, there is a little bhakti, therefore they get result.
Otherwise they won't work.
But it's not called bhakti generally. Now within this 6th chapter, Kevala Bhakti means pure Bhakti. Kevala means pure. Kevala Bhakti also is shown indirectly to the Supreme. So there is a pure Bhakti also in these 6 chapters, like Manmana Bhagavad Bhakto. And other, there is Bhakti. In the 30th chapter, the body where the Jiva and Paramatma reside, body in which Jivatma and Paramatma reside, what is in the subject matter of this chapter? Body. So this word body is for one subject matter in the first verse. What is that subject matter? Kshetra. Kshetra is body. Kshetra is called body. And the Jiva is the Kshetra Gaya. And Paramatma is second Kshetra Gaya. See, this is right. The Jiva and Prakriti is also described. The practice of gyaan, this is the another practice of gyaan means gyanam, subject matter. And the Jiva is a Purusha and Prakriti is described. So these 6 chapters are described in this. Now what is in the middle 6th chapter? This is something. By Kevala Bhakti, it means mid 6th chapter is pure Bhakti. Prabhupada has also given the same purport mostly. So I think this will be too much for you. Okay. Verse number 2. Krishna's answer. Now this section goes from verse number 2 to 7. We will finish this section today. Now. 2 to 7. Okay? And what is the subject matter? Kshetra, Krishna explained Kshetra, Kshetragya and Gyaan. So 3 things, 3 subjects out of the 6 are discussed in these verses. Kshetra, Kshetragya and Gyaan. Okay? Now answer Srila Kaunteya Kshetramiti abhidhiyate Etadyo veti tang praho Kshetragyam iti tadvido. So Sri Krishna is saying, Idam Sariram, he said this body, Idam Sariram, Kshetram iti abhidhiyate. It is called Kshetra. So this body is called Kshetra. This body is called Kshetra. Okay? Etat yo veti, one who knows this body. Kshetragya tadvido. He is called Kshetragya. So, now before we go in, this is the outside the agriculture field, right? This in a normal Sanskrit language is called Kshetra. Kshetra means agriculture field. So what do we do in agriculture field? We sow some seed, right? What we get? We get the result, some fruit, right? So this body is also a agriculture, like a agriculture field. we sow the seed of karma in this body. And we get the result, happiness or suffering. And who knows the agricultural land? This the farmer who works here, right? So I know my body. So I as a soul is kshetriya. So as a soul, by karma, I sow the seed in this body and I get the result, happiness or suffering. Is it simple? So soul is kshetriya and body is kshetra. Right? Now, so this verse answers the question, what is kshetra and what is kshetriya. Now this one line you should always remember. Body is made up of senses. This line you should always remember. This body is this body with senses. Body means body is made of senses. Therefore what we will do with senses? Sense enjoyment. Right? Body means senses. What is written here? See the next line. It is better to remember. So, since it is the basis for sprouting tree of repeated birth. So this body, we use the senses and we create the new body. That is the Baldev Vidyabhushan has same commentary almost. Because these two commentaries, if you read, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur and Baldev Vidyabhushan, then you will understand Srila Prabhupada's commentary 99%. Now I am going directly to Srila Prabhupada's commentary, let's see. Srila Prabhupada writes, Arjuna was in question about the Prakriti, means nature, Purusha. Prabhupada has given the commentary for the both verses together, first and second. So this sixth subject Prabhupada is speaking. When he inquired about the all three, Krishna said that this body is called the field, and the one who knows the body is called the knower of the field. Kshetra and Kshetriya, okay? The body is the field of activity for the conditioned soul. Body is the field of activity for conditioned souls. The conditioned soul is entrapped in material existence and he attempts to lord it over the material nature. Why conditioned soul is put into the body? Because he wants to lord it over the material nature. Say, father was driving a car on a highway. The young 5-year child was sitting with him. And he was insisting, I want to drive. When father gives the 5-year child steering to drive the car on the highway, but he loves the child. Child is saying, give me. What will he do? He stopped the car in some good supermarket, buy a small toy car, and give to the child, you drive your car, I drive my car. So this is what Krishna has given us, this small world, one home, one car, one business, and we are running this small car. Because we wanted to do it. So this means we are conditioned because we want to lord it over material nature. And Prabhupada said, how much we can lord? Which body will be given to us? As much as we afford. It is like that if you want to go and buy the car in the market, what is your budget? If you have, say, millions of dollars, you can have Mercedes. You have few 100,000, then you can buy the Maruti. It depends upon what type of car you get according to your means, right? So we get also bodies according to our. This Prabhupada will write like that. And so according to his capacity, to dominate material nature, he get a field of activity. Some get a body in which he will act as a king. He can control the whole country. And somebody, he becomes simple brahmachari to control himself. See, according to the Prabhupada, according to the capacity to dominate, how much you dominate the material nature, you are given that type of body. He gets a field of activity, which means body. That field of activity is body. Okay? And what is this body? The body is made up of senses. This never forget. And therefore, why we get body? The conditioned soul wants to enjoy sense gratification. And according to his capacity to enjoy sense gratification, he is offered a body or a field of activity. How much he can afford? He is given that body. He can get a tree's body and always remain naked, maybe for 100 years. He can get a lion's body and just be the king of the jungle, forest. So according to his capacity, he will get a body. Now Srila Prabhupada writes, therefore the body is called kshetra and are the field of activity for the conditioned soul. Now the person who should not identify himself with the body is called kshetra, the knower of the field. Now Prabhupada, it is not very difficult to understand the difference between the field and the knower, it's a knower, the body and the knower of the body. It's like you have a home and you are the owner of the home. So there is a difference between the home and the owner of the home. There is a difference between the agricultural field and the farmer. So similarly, there is a difference between the body and the owner of the body's soul. And Srila Prabhupada is giving evidence for this from second chapter of Bhagavad Gita. Dehinosman yatha dehi. In this part, you can see this verse. Can you see this verse? Okay? This verse is in the purport, right? Dehinosman, Prabhupada writes in second chapter of Bhagavad Gita. Right? Now, the owner is distinctly kshetra. Now Prabhupada is simply saying, I am happy, I am sick, I am this, I am man. So I is different than the person. I is different than the body. So this Prabhupada is giving example. How many bodies we have changed? Anybody knows? And somebody asks you this question, you will ask him question. How many dresses you have changed in this life? If you tell me, I will tell you. Anybody can tell you how many dresses you have changed in this body? No. No. So we don't know even the dresses how many we have changed in one life. So how many bodies we have to, nobody knows. Prabhupada says, since time immemorial. Okay? So Srila Prabhupada is just in this purport saying difference between body and soul. Now Srila Prabhupada is in the previous Acharya, mood of previous Acharyas, giving the summary of the first 6 chapter, middle 6 chapter and the last 6 chapter. Can you see in this purport? In the first 6 chapter of Bhagavad Gita, the knower of the body means soul. So mostly it is discussed who is soul and what is the function of soul. Right? Body, the living entity is described, and how he can understand the Supreme is described in Karma Yoga, Gyaan Yoga, Adhyan Yoga. Right? The middle section of Bhagavad Gita, Supreme Personality of Godhead and the relationship between the individual soul and the Supreme Soul in regard to devotional service are described. Same thing, who is, for whom we should work and how work. The Supreme Lord, our relation with Lord by bhakti. And the last 6 chapter Prabhupada writes, now Srila Prabhupada is giving a little more sort of explanation. The Supreme Lord is predominator, the individual is predominated, so Srila Prabhupada is speaking that same way. Now, what Srila Prabhupada is writing here, you tell me. The living entities are subordinate under all circumstances, but in their forgetfulness they are suffering. Now what I am reading, you tell me what is this. When enlightened by pious activities, they approach the Supreme Lord in different capacities, as distressed, those in want of money, the inquisitive, or those in search of knowledge. Guess what is this?
The
Sukriti.
those pious people.
Sukrita. Dushkrita and Sukrita, so these are Sukrita.
Chaturvidha, but this is the verse, exactly whole verse there. You write into brackets, Chaturvidha, but this is verse number 7, 16. What is the number? See? What is the number of this verse? This is one thing you find in the purport, what Srila Prabhupada has quoted, which verse he has quoted. This is exactly that verse. Can you see the verse? Chaturvidhi pranipate, sorry. Chaturvidha bhajate maam jana supratinojana arpa jivya surartharthi gyanicha verse. Exactly 17?
16. 7:16.
7:16, right? This is the as it is verse. Why? Pious means sukratina. Okay? Pious means sukratina. That is also described in Prabhupada is still discussing 7th chapter. Now starting with the 13th chapter, how the living and come in contact with the material nature, how he is bound by 3 modes of material nature. How the material nature, living and come in contact with the material nature, and how he is delivered by the Supreme Lord through the different methods of karma yoga, fruitive activity, cultivation knowledge, gyaan, and discharge devotion service bhakti. So in this we have how the soul is bound and how it is relieved by different processes. Okay? Now before we go to 3rd chapter, I just show you something else, then we will discuss. Now here is something. So this is the summary, 30 sections of the 13th chapter. Section A, first verse. Arjun 6 questions, okay? 2 to 7. Krishna answered the question 3 and 4. What is the question 3 and 4? Kshetra, Kshetra, Gaya. And he also answered question number 'and the activities and the knower of the field'. should make it little smaller. Okay? Section C. From verse number 8 to 12. Krishna further answers to question number 5. Process of knowledge and liberation. Process of knowledge. Section D. 13 to 19. Krishna further answered to the question number 6. Object of knowledge, gaya. And section number D, 20 to 26. Krishna answered question number 1, kshetra. Question number 6, kshetra gaya. Krishna discussed again the question number 1 and 2, prakriti and purusha. One is prakriti and second is purusha. Right? Prakriti and purusha. And their union, how they are united. Means living entity and material nature, how they are united. And last section, 27 to 35, gyaan, chakshu, eye of gyaan, the vision of knowledge. So this is the breakdown of the 13th chapter in 6 sections. Is it okay?
Maybe clear next one. This is initially.
It's not clear yet? Gyaan chakshu. Gyaan chakshu means
That's last.
last section, yeah. It's okay? Now, this is what we have just seen. First 6 chapter, what Prabhupada has written. Second 6 chapter and third 6 chapter. Just I am repeating something what we discussed. Srila Prabhupada says, karma, action, actions on the platform of knowledge, perfection of action, action performed to please Krishna, bhakti yoga. This is in first 6 chapters. Second 6 chapter is bhakti yoga. And third 6 chapter, number 1 is gyaan and number 2 perfection of gyaan. Now this is the first question. You will have 6 questions. First verse, right? And same 6 questions more in this. What is prakriti, material nature? What is purush? The enjoyer of the matter. Can you see this? Can you read all this?
Yes.
And who is kshetra? This body. Who is a kshetriya? Soul and super soul both. Gyaan. What is the gyaan? Knowledge of the process of inquiring. And gayam, object of knowledge. It's just what words mean. And this is the question number 2. Text 2. Krishna says, kshetra gaya. Kshetra, the body is called field. Kshetra gaya, the soul. Now you see the photo. Whole black is kshetra, and the only soul is kshetra gaya in the side. Right? Is readable? No. It's not readable, right? You can make it, okay?
Oh, sorry.
No problem, we can bring it up, okay?
Thank you. I'm just gonna adjust this. I can't see the cursor. Sorry.
Down.
Oh, either way.
Does anyone know how to write?
Nothing is there, they say.
I thought if we hit this button, you will go.
नोट्स शेयर लिखा था तो इसके बाद में शेयर क्या करें जाएगा नोट्स शेयर लिखा क्षेत्र शिक्षा
No problem, we'll get it.
You got it, Bob.
Something.
No, there's
Okay, I think better we should continue. Hare Krishna.
Different shape. Presentation है क्या? फील कर रहे हैं.
Hare Krishna.
क्षेत्र की गाय क्षेत्र की
We have to go a long way. Something same small has come. Now, how can you make it big?
The same thing.
I don't know much about this. Hare Krishna. क्षेत्र क्षेत्र कहते थे क्षेत्र, राइट? So these two words are clear to you?
Yes, yes.
Now we will find out Kshetra is made up of what? This body is made up of 24 elements. This we will discuss. But first Krishna would say, I am also Kshatriya. So first we will discuss the super soul and the second Kshatriya.
What is the name of the program that you're using? What's the strange
Anyway, this is all Prabhupada's purport, but like the package, what is called fast food, we're ready to chew. No? Okay, no problem. I cannot make it big now.
Okay.
Now, before I was able to do something. Same thing. Again.
Small book. Dheeraj is not here?
Now, to me, it's quite big, but it's not coming here. But this black thing has come. From where this has come? Okay, let's start, I think, reading. It's a big, okay? Okay, text 1 to 2. So, body. Now, this is the next question. Okay, let us go to the third verse first. Then we will revise this. Okay, verse number 3. Is enough to read? I shall make it a little bigger. Your book you can read, okay. Kshetragyam chapi mam vidhi sarva kshetreshu bharata kshetra kshetrajño gyānam yattadhyanam matam mama. Now, no problem. Now, Sri Krishna is saying, Kshetragyam cha api mam vidhi. You must also know that I am Kshetragya. So soul is there, but I am also there. But soul is only in one body, Kshetragya. I am in Sarva Kshetreshu Bharata. Arjuna, I am the knower in all bodies as super soul, Paramatma. Kshetra, Kshetragyor Gyanam. Anybody who knows the body and the two knowers of the body, the soul and super soul. Tajja Gyanam Matam Mama. This is my opinion. He has a knowledge. He is the person of knowledge who knows the body and the two knowers of the body, the soul and super soul. Is it okay?
Yes.
The meaning of the verse is clear?
Yes.
Okay, you don't see this, no problem. Now, Srila Prabhupada's purport. Very lengthy purport by Baldev Vidabhushan on this. While discussing the subject of body and the knower of the body, the soul and the super soul, we should find three different topics of study: the Lord, the living entity, and the matter. So that's three things, okay? Lord as a super soul, as a kshetragya for all bodies, and then living entity as a kshetragya for his individual body, and as the matter of which this body is made up of. Right? Now, in the every field of activities, in every body, there are two souls, the individual soul and the super soul. Okay? Is that very? Any other verses coming in your mind? Quoted in Bhagavad Gita about the soul and super soul in one body? Samane vrikshe khaga.
Birds.
There's a tree in which there are two birds. One is an enjoying bird and one is a witness bird. You remember this?
Yes.
Right. It's from Upanishad, was quoted in second chapter. So this tree is body. The enjoying bird is soul and witness is super soul. So both are the knower of the body. Because the super soul is the plenary expansion of the Supreme Personality of God, Krishna says, I am also the knower. So Krishna is the knower as super soul. Super soul. A technical name for super soul? Paramatma. Which Vishnu? Hero Dakshai Vishnu. Hira Udakshai Vishnu. The Vishnu lying down in a milk ocean is Paramatma. Right? Super soul is Hira Udakshai Vishnu. He is the expansion of Balaram, they are all coming. Balaram coming from Krishna. So ultimately, Krishna says, me means my expansion of the super soul. Right? Okay, now. But I am not the individual knower of the body, I am the super knower. I am present in every body as Paramatma or super soul. One who studies the subject matter of field of activity means body. And the knower of the field means the soul. Very minutely in terms of Bhagavad Gita can attain to knowledge. Yeah. He is called the person in knowledge. You know the body and the two knower of the body. The Lord says, I am the knower of the body, all activities in every individual body. I can give you a common example Prabhupada used to give. Every farmer has his own land. Every person has his own house. But the king has the record of the all field and all houses. A revenue department in a government has a record of all the body. Right? You understand?
Yes, yes.
So king control all the land. I have my land. If king wants, he can take from me my land. If there's a road going on, he said, yes, I will make a road from here. So, knower of the field is king. King is the knower of the whole kingdom. Individual is knower of his own field only. Soul knows his only body, but super soul knows all the bodies. Is it okay? It's too big for projector. But okay for me. Okay, so the Lord says, I am the knower of the field of activities in every individual body. The individual may be knower of his body, but not all. Supreme Personality of God is knower of the present as the super soul. This is very simple. Now, only one thing is very complicated you have to know. Prabhupada gave example of citizen and king. Just I was telling you, okay? This also you know. It's very simple. King is the original proprietor of the kingdom and the citizen is the secondary proprietor. Primary proprietor is king of the whole country. Secondary proprietor is a citizen. So super soul is primary proprietor and the soul is secondary proprietor of the body as a knower. Okay? Now, Prabhupada has used one word. Body consists of? Therefore, the name of our super soul or Krishna is? Rishikesh. Rishika means senses. Ish means master. So he is the master of senses. So body means senses. And Krishna or a super soul is master of senses. So he is the master of senses, Rishikesh. So Krishna is super knower. This is the one verse quoted by all the acharyas. Kshetrani cha sarvani, this is from Mahabharata. Kshetrani cha sarvani bijam chapi shubha shubhe tani veti sa yogatma tata kshetragya uchyate. This body is called Kshetra and within it dwell the owner of the body and the Supreme Lord. This is Yogatma, who knows both the body and the owner of the body. Therefore, he is called knower of the body. Now, this is something, I think there's an example here. So the Christian's opinion, Matam Muhammad, is a verse. To understand both the soul and super soul are one. One in constitution. One in quality. Yet distinct in quantity is in knowledge. One who does not understand the field of activity means body. And the knower of the activity is not in perfect knowledge. Many people don't know there is a soul. They think body, all the animals have only body. They don't know soul, so they are not in knowledge. One has to understand the position of Prakriti, means nature. Purusha, the enjoyer of the nature, and the Ishwar, the knower, who dominate or
Controls nature.
what is in the book?
Controls nature.
Controls each. Now there is an analogy here. One should not confuse the three in different capacities. What are the threes? Prakriti, enjoyer and controller. And now Prabhupada gives example. One should not confuse the painter, the painting and essel. And this is in Baldev Vidya Bhushan's commentary. Dyed cloth which is colored. Now these three painter, who is painter, who is painting and who is essel? It's very difficult, so I know it's very confusing. Now you read the first line. Prakriti, enjoyer, controller. Then Prabhupada writes, painter, painting and essel. And now he writes, material world, which is the field of activity. Again Prakriti is nature. And the enjoyer of nature is the living entity. And above both of them is the personality of Godhead, controller. So,
The painter is.
what Srila Prabhupada, if we go according to the terminology Prabhupada is using, so first one is painter. It cannot be Prakriti. Is Prakriti painter?
No.
Vishwaka.
Control.
Jiva Atma is painter, body is painting, and the whole essel is Krishna, controller of the two. If there is no, if you don't have the eyes, you cannot paint. Neither the painter can paint, neither there will be painting. So this is one way to see. So this is something for you to think in your mind and come with the conclusive answer. Who is painter, who is painting, and who is essel. Okay? I think that this today you discuss this on yourself. Is it okay?
What is the meaning of essel?
Essel means you have a they like this like cloth is a cloth on which you do painting. Stand, not only stand, but the whole thing on which you work.
Easily is
Frame,
only stand. Easily is only stand.
You see the word in the dictionary, it says the cloth on which you paint.
Oh, that's
Or instant. Something which support everything. For painting this support. You see the word together. This word, every time I come to this, always there is a confusion. So make this, tomorrow we will come with a more clear conclusion. Who is painter, who is painting, and who is essel. Okay. But this is something, what Srila Prabhupada is writing is like, both above and below his languages, he is speaking differently. Okay, now it is stated in the Vedic language, the Svetashara Upanishad. Bhokta bhogyam preritam. Now, bhokta means soul. Bhogyam means prakriti. And preritam cha matva. Prerita means one who gives inspiration. Prerita. Sarvam proktam Traividham Brahmam Etar. All three are called Brahma. All three are called Brahma. What are these three Brahma? The three Brahma constellation. Prakriti is the Brahma, field of activity. Jeev is the individual Brahma. And the controller of both is also Brahma, the factual controller. Now from this language, Sanskrit, if we use this, if all has come from this, then Bhokta is painter, Bhogyam is painting, and I is Prarita. So you do research tomorrow yourself and come with conclusion. It's okay? It's okay? It's good, it's good. Now we are going further. Three Brahm. What are the three Brahm? Prakriti Brahm, Jeev Brahm, and Super Brahm, which control the both. All three are called Brahm. Now Prabhupada is using another language for the two knower. And who are the two knowers? Jeev and Paramatma, right? Soul and super soul. Now the another language for this. Soul is fallible, super soul is infallible. Now see the next line. So the two knower, one is fallible, other is infallible. Soul is fallible in the material nature, and super soul is not fallible. Though he is in every body, but is not influenced by the material nature. So one is called fallible, one is called infallible. Then the example, Prabhupada gave the analogy. What is the analogy? Rope and a serpent. Snake and rope analogy. So rope is considered fallible. Is what? One who understands the two knower of the field to be one and the same, contradicting the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who stayed here very clearly, I am also the knower of the field of activities. One who misunderstands a rope to be a serpent is not in knowledge. There are different kinds of bodies and there are different owners of the bodies. Because each individual soul has its individual capacity for lording it over the material nature. There are different bodies. But the Supreme also is present in them as a controller. The word cha is significant in this verse. For it indicates the total number of bodies. Cha, word in first line, the word verse cha is most important. Is the word cha there? First line. Cha means all bodies. That is the opinion of Sri Baldev Vidyabhushan. Krishna is super soul present in each and every body. So what is the real knowledge? Last line, read last line. What is the real knowledge? To know the body and its finite enjoyer and the controller of the both. Right? Now we are going to verse number 4. Now this is the verse which speaks about kshetra. Tata kshetra yaccha drikacha yad vikari yataschaya sachayo yata prabhavaste prabhavascha tata samasena me shruno. Samasena means in short. Samas means in short. And vyas means in elaboration. Vyas means to expand something. Samas means in short, right? So in short I am going to tell you what? Briefly. What is the composition of the body? Number 1. Kshetra yacha. Kshetra yacha means what is this body composed of? Number 2. What are its qualities? Yadrikcha. And what are its transformation? Yad vikari. from where it originated, yatascha. And by what varieties it is known, yat. Who is the knower? Sahacha, ya. And what are his powers? Yat prabhavascha. So these are the different subject matter in this verse. There's a good list in the other chart, but there's no chart for you. What's number 4? What are the subject matter in this? What we have to discuss? How the body is constituted. Where is this described if somebody asks you? I don't have for you this in the board, but I can show you. Number 1. How the body is constituted. Okay? This is described in verse number 6 and 7. The composition of the body is described in verse number 6 and 7. What changes the body undergoes? What changes the body undergoes is described in verse number 7 and verse number 20. Verse number 7 and verse number 20. How, when and where the body is produced. How, when and where the body is produced. How, when and where the body is produced. The answer is given in 13:6, 13:21, 13:22 and 13:30. So this answer to these questions are throughout this chapter. You have written this? No.
The last one is
6, 21, 22 and 30. Okay? Now the influence of the knower. Influence of the knower means soul. Is explained in verse number 14 and verse number, I think from 14 to 18. 14, 15, 16, 17 and 18. Identity of the knower of the field of activities. This is also explained in the same verses and also in the verse number 23. So this is just a information where we will get the answer for these. Now we are coming to our own discussion. We are going to the Srila Prabhupada's purport. Srila Prabhupada writes, the Lord is describing the field of activity and the knower of the field of activity in their constitutional position. Okay? Srila Prabhupada is giving the whole, in purport Srila Prabhupada is speaking. One has to know how this body is constituted, number 1. Number 2, materials of which this body is made. Number 3, under whose control the body is working. Number 4, how the changes are taking place. Number 5, where from the changes are coming, what are the causes, and what the causes are, and number 6, what are the reasons, what the reasons are, what the ultimate goal of individual soul is, and what the actual form of individual soul is. Prabhupada has given something more than what is in the verse. Can you see 8 things, 9 things? Can you see this purport? If you write 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on all these, so how many questions are there?
9.
9, right?
Yes.
Then Srila Prabhupada said, then the influence of the individual soul and the super soul is different on the body. If we consider the super soul and soul same, then what mistake we make? Srila Prabhupada gives a one analogy. What is the word? Potent and
Important.
important. So potent is super soul and important is soul, right? We are going to verse number 5. In this, what is the principle you have to tell me? Okay? Let us read the verse. Trevir bahu, sorry. Rishivir bahuda gitam Chando vir vividhai pratak Brahma sutra padais chaiva Eto madbir vinaschita. Rishibhi means many saintly person. Bahuda means many. Rishibhi means seers. And Bahuda means many. Gita means they have also sung about all these subject matters. 9. All these 9 subject matters, many rishis have also sung about this, said about that. Chandobir means Vedic literature also describe them. Chand means the Vedic literature. Vividhai pratik, they are also separately describing it. Brahma Sutra is, this is on Vedanta Sutra also there is a description. Brahma Sutra means Vedanta Sutra of the Vyasadeva. Padesh Chaiva and the Vedanta Sutra of the Vedas. Hetu Madbhi, and by the logical, Hetu means what is the cause and effect, logic. Logically this is described. Vinashchitai, they have given a Vinashchitai, word Vinashchitai means very decisively. Vinashchita, Nishchit means decisive. They were, so what is the principle what this principle is? Sadhu Shastra. Guru, Sadhu Shastra, there are 3 things, right? So Krishna is a guru for Arjuna, right? Krishna was accepted by Arjuna as a spiritual master. Where?
434.
Which verse?
27.
In which verse?
27.
Karpanya dosha 2:7. So Krishna is guru. When he is giving answer, he is quoting Rishi Sadhu. He is quoting Shastra. So, what Krishna is saying, he is corroborating with this opinion of the sadhus and the evidence of the scripture. So, Guru, Sadhu, Shastra principle. The verse number 5 is Guru, Sadhu, Shastra principle. Is it clear? Can you see this now? Krishna is Guru, is speaking. He is quoting sadhus, Rishi B, and he is also giving evidence from the Vedic literature. Chandobi Vedic and Brahma Sutra Padesh Chaiva. So this verse is the principle of Guru, Sadhu, Shastra. For any evidence, these 3 things are necessary. for check and balance. Is it okay? Now, if Arjun asks this question, why you are giving me in brief Samasena? Because it is elaborately described in the Vedas by many rishis. It's already there. I am giving you summary, right? And there is a logic given there, and decisions are given there. Srila Prabhupada writes, the Supreme Personality Godhead Krishna is the highest authority in explaining this knowledge. Because he is Guru, Jagat Guru. But still, as a matter of course, learned scholars and external authorities always give evidence from the previous authorities. So he is using the sadhu and shastra evidence. Okay? What is the most controversial point? People say Atma and Paramatma is same. This is the problem. This is the problem. See, individual soul and super soul, that is the problem. So first he says sadhus, sages. And then Prabhupada quotes two sages, Vyasdev and Parashar, father of Vyasdev. Prabhupada is quoting two sages. And they give the evidence, the soul and super soul are separate. Okay? Which sages Prabhupada is quoted? Two rishis Prabhupada quoted. Which? Vyasdev and Parashar, father of Vyasdev. One who gave the definition of word Bhagavan. First the word Bhagavan came in Bhagavad Gita. Prabhupada described. This word is described by Parashar Muni, one who has 6 appearances, unlimited, right? Then Prabhupada is writing two sages. Vyasdev in Vedanta Sutra, he is author of Vedanta Sutra. And Ved's father Parashar, great sage. And what he says? Aham tvam cha, aham, I, tvam you, cha tatha anya and all others. It means there is a difference. There is soul, there is super soul, and there are many other souls. We, you, and the various other living entities. So what is the actually point which is controversial, for which Krishna is giving the evidence from the scripture and sages? What is that point? Individually, there is soul and super soul. Usually, most of the people, even in India, they think our soul and super soul are one. They say Atma so Paramatma. This is their language. Srila Prabhupada then giving the example from where Chandoghi, Kathopanishad and Taittiriya Upanishad. This Prabhupada now giving the example, two he gave the example of the sages, and then he gives the two examples from Vedic literature, Kathopanishad and Taittiriya Upanishad. Now there is something is coming interesting you have to remember. What is in Taittiriya Upanishad? Brahma Pucham. Brahma Pucham. Then Puch means tail of the Brahma. You know, tail, Puch means tail. So there are 5 Brahmas. See how many Brahmas are there now. There are 5 Brahmas. 3 Brahmas are in a Kshetra and 2 Brahmas are in Kshetra again. Now see this. Brahma Pucham Pratishtha. Number 1 is Annamaya. Annamaya is called Annamaya Brahma. body, which is maintained by food grains, annamaya. Number one. Number two, pranamaya, the life, the air. Living symptom, pranamaya. Number three, gyanamaya. That is also called manomaya sometimes. Gyanamaya, realizing extend beyond the living symptom to the point of thinking, feeling and willing, mind. These are the function of mind. Therefore this Gyanamaya is also called Manomaya sometimes. All these three, Annamaya, Pranamaya and Gyanamaya, are field of activity. They are coming in Kshetra. Body, life, air and mind. Now go beyond. Then there is a Brahma realization called Vijnanamaya, that is soul, which is the living entity. Living entity is mind and life air are distinguished from the living entity himself. So Vijnanamaya is living entity himself. This is the first knower, or Kshetragya. Then next is the supreme state, Anandamaya. And this Anandamaya Brahma is called the super soul, all blissful. Brahma Purusham. Of these first three, Annamaya, Pranamaya and Gyanamaya, involve the field of activities of the living entity, body, Kshetra. And the next two, they are Kshetragya. First is the soul, which is Vijnanamaya, and Anandamaya is super soul, right? Then for Anandamaya, Prabhupada is quoting a verse from Vedanta Sutra, Anandamaya Abhyasat. Supreme Lord, Super Soul. Is five Brahma Pucham, Pradesham, five Brahma you have to remember. Five Brahma concept from Taittiriya Upanishad. Which is the Vijnanamaya is super soul, Vijnanamaya is soul. Vijnan means realization. Like in a adhyan we know about this soul. That's called Vijnanamaya. Now Srila Prabhupada has quoted three Vedanta Sutra. Hare Krishna, I think time is over. We have two more verses to go. We can leave it here. Tomorrow we can continue. But let us finish this verse purport. Some of the sutra, Vedanta Sutra, Prabhupada has quoted three sutras. One sutra, first sutra is 232. Vyada Ashruteha. That is for body. Na Atma Shruteha, for the soul. Parat Tutta Shruteha, one which is beyond the two. Parat means beyond. Beyond the body and soul, that is Paramatma. So first is the field of activities. Vyad Ashureta. Ashruteha. Natma, and these are the three. Prabhupada simply wanted to give evidence from Vedanta Sutra because this is the verse. So three sutras are quoted here. Here we end. Now the two verses actually describe the 24 elements which we will discuss and the different interaction of the body and soul. Okay, we end it here. Do you have any question or comment? Are you understanding something?
Yes.
Yes.
Huh?
Yes.
Technical.
Is something understandable?
Yes.
Yes, what is your question?
So, in text 3, it was mentioned about the rope and the serpent.
Huh?
So, the rope and the serpent analogy, text 3, it was mentioned. So, it was written that one who misunderstood a rope to be a serpent is not in knowledge.
It means one who thinks the soul as a super soul is not in knowledge.
The same are not in
This analogy is like one who knows the soul as a super soul, like knows the rope as a snake. So he is not in knowledge.
I had because you mentioned rope is fallible. In the class.
Rope, a rope is a illusion of the snake. So basically, this is Mayavadis. They use this analogy. And this is soul and super soul are one. So Prabhupada saying they are not one.
Okay, so it just comes as an analogy.
So he uses analogy.
I have a
Yes.
question. Like chapter 12 was so sweet and nice and bhakti and dear to Krishna, and suddenly like a bomb from the sky comes this 13th chapter with technical things and this shastriya. What is the connection between this? Why suddenly Arjuna starts asking about these things?
Actually, Bhagavad Gita ended by Bhakti Yoga.
Okay, no bhakti. Please.
Oh, I did not use this. I should have used this. Anyway, it is ended by Bhakti Yoga. But Arjuna asked the question, so the matter is started again. Prabhupada said by 17th chapter Bhagavad Gita is over. 18th chapter is summary of the whole Bhagavad Gita. But some says by 12th chapter everything is over. But then Arjuna asked the question about these 6 things.
Okay, it's a different kind of.
And therefore it continues further.
And one more, because I did not manage to write.
I think this is necessary. We practice bhakti, we become very dear to Krishna. That is good, but there are people, even the 12th chapter will start with the question. The other part of the question is gyaan. What is the first question of the 12th chapter?
Which is better?
Say, Arjuna vacha evam satyukta ye bhaktasma bhajva chapi aksham aktesham ke yog mitma. Who is the best among the two? The one who think of you or Brahma?
One who think of Krishna.
And from where it is coming? Why Arjuna asked this question?
Because Krishna,
It's coming from where?
from previous conversation.
It is coming from 9th chapter, verse number 15. What is the number of 9:15? Find out.
Satatam Kirtayan.
Huh?
Jnana.
Jnanam chapimam. Jananto mahupade ektvena prathuktvena bahuda vishvato mukham. This is a seed verse. Based on this verse, 10th chapter, 11th chapter, 12th chapter, all are based on this verse. And this gyaan part is still continuing in the 11th chapter.
13th.
Oh, 13th chapter is continuing. This verse has 3 things. Those who worship themselves as God, aham graha upasana, I am God. Those who worship the universal form as a God, and those who worship the many demigods as a God. So now to answer this, Krishna has to explain all the demigod part, then he has to explain all the universal form, then he has to explain the of the 12th chapter to distinguish between the two, and still the gyaan section is left. It is continuing in verse number 13. Oh, this chapter 13. So this verse number 15 is a seed. Hare Krishna, we will meet tomorrow. We are late. Sorry, Hare Krishna.